Why, hello everyone, how are you doing this fine day? Hope you're enjoying your week. Welcome to another survival challenge, in particular, a Predator survival challenge. Haven't done one of these in a while, which is really a bummer because while I'm not gonna say this is my favorite survival challenge, it's definitely up there. It's a really cool inverse of the trope, right? Where you have a bunch of survivors in a cabin or a spaceship or something, they're all by themselves, and then some kind of horrifying thing happens that they need to survive. Very House on Haunted Hill type of stuff, like the board game, House on. Am I saying that right? The House on Haunted? I think I'm saying it right. I might not. You know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure you can take literally any one of those sort of tropey survival movie type scenarios and replace the human survivors with predators, and it becomes way cooler. I honestly can't think of a single movie like that where replacing the humans with predators wouldn't be better. Like, clearly, right? I'm not crazy. And while it does seem like the creators of Predator movies are starting to kind of get what makes Predator cool, it's about time since the first Predator film came out in 1987. And for the longest time, they've just been doing the same shit over and over again. Now they're finally starting to realize, actually, wouldn't it be cooler if we start putting them in different locations and different time periods against different types of warriors? Yes, it would. Thank you for finally realizing that. But honestly, I don't think they're going far enough with it. I mean, think about it. Predator is owned by Disney now. Hulk is also owned by Disney. There's literally nothing stopping them from making a Predator versus Hulk movie. That's an actual possibility. They have the rights to both characters. As long as Hulk's name isn't in the title, they can distribute it fine. Where's our Predator versus Hulk movie, Disney? I mean, think about it, right? You got Predators 2. Not Predator 2, but Predators 2, the sequel to the Adrian Brody movie, right? And Adrian Brody is walking around on that planet, still can't get off, trying to find his way gone. He runs into a dude because a new season has come, so they dropped a bunch of new people on the planet. The new dude he runs into, his name is Bruce. He's like, oh, hey, you want to join us? We're trying to find our way off the planet. Bruce is like, yeah, absolutely. Let's do this. Let's work together, right? They start doing it. Predators start coming down. They're going. Adrian Brody's like, Bruce, you're just like a little doctor dude. Get back. Don't. Adrian's about to get killed. Bruce turns to the fucking Hulk and just wrecks all the Predators' shit. Awesome. Then all the Predators are like, oh shit, fuck was that? Okay. Word starts spreading. There's this big fucking green thing that they can find on one of their hunting worlds. It's bigger and badder than anything that they've ever had to hunt before. All of a sudden, you have all of these different crazy Predator clans showing up with their ships, basically just peppering the entire atmosphere of this planet, dropping down dudes like crazy, and it's like a big competition. Like, which clan is going to take out this giant green monster? The one who does is going to bring tons of honor and glory to their clan. So now, you have a movie where you're following Bruce Banner, who is basically being hunted by just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of predators having to deal with them while also trying to get off this planet. And the movie could be split in two parts where half of it is from Bruce Banner's perspective and the other half is from the Predator's perspective. You can actually see them on their ships and sort of like communicating in their weird way. Like, they don't talk, but they can give us a lot of body language and stuff to show us like how they're communicating. Kind of similar to what they did in the first AVP movie where the Predator was communicating with the human and it was all through just hand signals and shit, and it's cool. There's no reason this movie can't exist. What was I talking about? Right, before we officially begin the video, I have an announcement to make, and that is the 35,000 subscriber celebration video that I am making is going to be the Doom universe and how the Doom universe would happen if it came into contact with the He-Man universe and all the different crazy shit that might happen between them. How would Skeletor and Horde Prime react to Doom Guy? How would He-Man and Eternia react to the Doom invasion? All this different stuff is going to be a super long video where I go over literally every faction, every character, everything else, but it's not coming out until we hit 35,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, please get down there, subscribe, so we can make this video this beastliest, baddest freaking video I've ever made. It's gonna be awesome. And if you enjoy the video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and join the membership. Remember, if you join the membership, you get videos early, as well as special videos that nobody else gets. Ain't that nice? But I've wasted enough of your time. Let's get started. First up on the chopping block, we have the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. And I know I gotta kind of address the elephant in the room. It's sort of weird that I'm even talking about this series because the series was created by a dude who liked to diddle children. And it's like, that's not cool. You know, adults shouldn't diddle children. Well, actually, I wouldn't necessarily say that adults shouldn't diddle children. I don't think anyone should diddle children. Like, other children shouldn't be diddling children. You know, it's not like I would suddenly be okay with it if like a horse was diddling children, for instance. Nobody should diddle children. Children should go diddleless. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, guys. So the Creeper is kind of an interesting creature because it's unique. There aren't a whole lot of things that work like the Creeper. So the whole idea of the Creeper is that it's this thing, we don't really know of its origin, and whatever it eats becomes a part of its own body. So every time it eats something, it gets stronger, it gets new skills, gets new abilities. Like it ate the wings of a bat and grew giant bat wings. You know, if you take its eyes out, it can eat your eyes and then get its eyes back. And I actually believe that even if you do take its eyes out, it can actually grow new eyes if it's eaten multiple different types of eyes from different people. So it can just continuously have eyes and keep regrowing its body parts, which just alone by itself is a really cool power. Another thing that separates it from other movie monsters is the fact that you actually can't kill it. Like it's not physically capable of dying. If you blow its head up, rip it into pieces, do whatever, and kill it, like kill it, it'll only be dead for 23 years, and after 23 years, it will just suddenly rise from the dead and start feeding again. And it will feed for 23 days until it eventually goes back to sleep, and then wakes up 23 years later and starts the whole cycle again. So it works on this kind of ritualistic, 23. I don't know the significance of the number 23, other than the movie, the number 20. I wonder if that has a connection anyway. If anyone knows what makes 23 so goddamn special, please let me know, because I just saw this connection. I didn't see that before. So what would happen if a Predator Mothership came down to Earth, did this little hunting, started killing a bunch of humans? They're like, okay, we're done. We murdered our humans. Get on the ship, fly away. And then all of a sudden, predators on the ship started dying randomly. And they're like, what's going on? And then eventually, slowly, when trying to track down the thing that's killing them, they find the Creeper somehow just snuck on board their ship. Who knows why? Maybe he was just interested in what the fuck this giant floating invisible thing was and wanted to check it out. And then y'all left and he was like, oh shit, I'm not on Earth anymore. This is weird. This is crazy. I'm gonna start killing people. How would that shit go down? I think it would be super, super interesting for like 30 minutes. In terms of what the Creeper has over the Predator, it's significantly stronger. It's not particularly fast in any way, but also as it eats more predators, it will start acquiring the strengths and abilities of the different predators. And there are actually a lot of different predators with a lot of different crazy abilities if you actually start looking into the different breeds of predators. There's like predators that glow and shit for some reason. There's all kinds of predators. But despite its strength and its ability to heal and its ability to fly and do all this different kind of stuff that predators can't do, I really don't see it surviving all that much because you can actually damage it. Like in the Jeepers Creepers movies, they actually are capable of putting it down for the full 23 days by just shooting it with shotguns. And the predators have way more powerful weapons. I mean, you're basically going to have every single predator on this ship. Who knows how many people are on here? 500, 1,000. Doesn't really matter. It could be 20. They're probably still going to take out the Creeper because they all have fucking plasma casters. And the plasma casters are going to rip Creeper's shit in. Again, it was harmed and killed by a fucking shotgun. The more interesting story here actually isn't necessarily what would happen to the Creeper on the Predator Mothership, but how the predators would respond to the Creeper after they figure out how it works. So like once they kill the Predator, they shoot it up with a bunch of plasma casters, trap it, kill it, whatever. And then they realize that this thing keeps coming back for 23 days. And then after 23 years, it's going to come back again. Oh my God, are they going to have a fucking ball? They have a super powerful creature that they can hunt for 23 days straight, every 23 years that they can never permanently kill. They're going to turn that into like a ritualistic thing. They're going to find a planet somewhere, put the Creeper down there, and they're just going to know, hey, every 23 years, you can go and hunt this fucking thing. And you're going to have predators from all across these different clans showing up every 23 years to try their luck at going down and hunting the Creeper. Who's going to be the one to kill the Creeper in this cycle? And then if they do, they earn themselves all sort of glory and all that kind of stuff. And they're like, yeah, I'm the dude who fucking killed the Creeper. And I just think that that's like a really interesting situation. You'll have young predators who haven't really earned a name trying to go down to kill the Creeper to earn themselves a name among their peers. You're gonna have like older dudes who are like, oh, I remember back in the day when I had to hunt the Creeper when it came out in my 23 years or whatever. A lot of cool shit would happen. I don't actually think it'll take the full 23 days for the, well, I don't know, because on the Predator Mothership, it's gonna be really hard because he's fighting tons and tons of predators. If the predators are only hunting the Creeper one at a time, that actually might be super, super difficult for them because the Creeper doesn't have a whole lot of stealth skills, but it is just this really big, powerful creature that can fly around and rip a predator apart if it sees it. And the Creeper is also relatively intelligent, and I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be able to utilize the technology of the predators that come down there and sort of figure out over all of the different cycles the best ways to actually fight against the predators. As it eats more and more predators, it's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger, so every single cycle it's going to be a little bit stronger. So it might take a really long time, maybe it'll take 1,000 years, but eventually I think the Creeper is actually going to get so powerful that it may be a little too difficult for the predators to actually handle properly, and they'll just be completely fucked and not really be able to catch up with how strong this thing is getting. So yeah, overall, if we take the Creeper and put him on the Predator Mothership, I think he's going down after killing maybe a handful of predators before they really realize what's going on. But then once it's actually caught, it's going to be this really cool ritualistic thing that will inevitably become something that the predators are going to start struggling to deal with, because this is actually a problem that Earth has as well. Like, they actually say in the Jeepers Creepers movies that, like, it keeps coming back to life every 23 years, and these guys have to, like, be there to shoot it down the moment it wakes up. But they do say that every cycle it comes up, it actually is a little bit stronger because it feeds on things and acquires the strength of the things it feeds on. And that was a world where the humans weren't allowing it to just go freely and eat things. It was just escaping on its own. The predators are actually going to allow it and want it to be free so that they can hunt it. So they're going to actively be making it more powerful. And the fact the creeper is feeding on predators that are stronger than humans means it's going to build strength faster going up against the predators than it ever was able to do on Earth. So yeah, I think it's going to be a problem for the predators, but it's going to take a lot longer to be a problem for the predators than it was on Earth, where it's kind of already a problem. It's going to take several cycles to be a problem for the predators. But overall, really cool concept. Next up, we got the Hulk, specifically from the films, not the comics, because the comics are all over the place in terms of consistency and not only quality, but also power level and what they can do. And honestly, even the weaker versions would just completely dominate pretty much all the predators that we're talking about. So it's just, no. And as far as the movies go, we're actually going to be talking about mostly the Ang Lee Hulk film, as well as a bit of the Edward Norton Hulk film. We're not really going to touch on the Mark Ruffalo version of Hulk, because I don't like the Mark Ruffalo version of Hulk. I think it's a bad version of Hulk. I don't think it's Hulk at all. And honestly, I just don't think it's an interesting conversation to talk about fucking giant green glasses wearing Mark Ruffalo doing fucking Pilates and meditating in their lobby talking about peace and love, and then all the fucking predators are looking at him like he's gay, because, I mean, he kind of is. No, I just don't want to have that conversation. That conversation fucking sucks. As far as Ang Lee or Eric Bana's version of Hulk and Edward Norton's Hulk, I just think they had a much better grasp of who Hulk is as a person. Ang Lee, while I'm not a fan of his movie, I think it's boring and has massive pacing issues, as well as constantly having this weird, like, whisper talking, you know? Like, Eric Bana's all like, oh, I'm the Hulk, and I'm so, like, I'm not, you know, I'm gonna hurt you, and oh no, but I kind of like it that I hurt you. And then you go over to, like, Betty Ross, she's like, oh, I love you, but I'm not gonna say that I love you, and how are you doing, and I'm gonna save you, and all that. And then you go over on to Nick Nolte, and he's like, it's not great. It's not great. But Ang Lee, at bare minimum, did have a general understanding to the character of Hulk, and the fact that Bruce Banner is the person that is dangerous, not necessarily Hulk. Hulk is just a manifestation of the darkness that already lives within inside Bruce Banner, which is something that the later films really don't get. Honestly, I think the best version of a Hulk movie that we would have gotten but didn't would have been Edward Norton's version of the film, because Edward Norton has talked about how he had tried to basically take over the film of Hulk, and which is the reason why he was fired. He tried to creatively take control of the movie when he was not hired to creatively take control of it. He was hired as an actor. So, I mean, I get why he was fired, but the version of the Hulk that he describes trying to create is the most accurate version that has been put to film. He talks about a version of Hulk that I have talked about several times on this channel, where Bruce Banner is a very terrifying person, and when the Hulk comes out, the movie basically was supposed to become a horror movie where he just goes around slaughtering people, and the movie was supposed to be a character study of this scientist who really has some massive psychological problems and who is an actual threat to society, and studying what made him that way and what kind of a person he would be, a person who constantly turns into a giant green rage monster and kills a bunch of people. And because a lot of Edward Norton's writing actually did stay in his version, we do see hints of this in the movie, like when Blonsky's unit goes to attack the Hulk, and the Hulk just slaughters all of his men in that factory, and it's like dark and you only see hints of him and stuff. It's very horror-esque in those scenes. The way that Edward Norton describes his version of the movie, it almost seems like the whole movie would have just been like that. I also like the fact that they straight up say in the Edward Norton movie that Edward Norton's version of Hulk has killed lots of people, and when they list off the people that he's killed, I think it was like 13 or 14 people at the beginning of the movie, they say who he's killed. They start listing them off, and that list is all like innocent people. Like, they're not bad guys. Like, this version of Hulk is a monster that has killed innocent people. That is the most accurate and honestly most interesting version of the character. You know, before even the comics decided to fuck it up because Greg Pak came in and retconned everything and made it as if Hulk has actually never killed anyone, everyone. And every single time he went destroying whole towns and stuff, it was never really his fault. It was always somebody else's fault. And I think Greg Pak did a lot to damage the character, despite making Planet Hulk and World War Hulk, which people say are Hulk's best storylines. I think overall he damaged the character more than he helped him. That's a whole different story. Anyway, let's actually get into it and see what would happen if Bruce Banner finds himself on the ship of a Predator mothership. How would that go down? And I think it would be pretty obvious how this would happen. Basically, we're going to look at the movie Predators with Adrian Brody, which is probably why I brought it up earlier. But yeah, the Predators are going to come down to Earth searching for people to put on the planet that takes place on Predators, where they kidnap people and bring them to the planet. They're going to kidnap Bruce Banner by sedating him. He's going to be on the ship. They're going to be transporting him to the other planet, but not realize that because Bruce Banner is the Hulk, the tranquilizers aren't going to work on him as long as it would work on a normal person. He wakes up, finds out he's in space in some kind of alien ship. They try to put him down again. He turns into the Hulk. Now all of a sudden you have a raging Hulk monster running through the fucking ship, and all the Predators are trying to stop it. How would this go down? And it's really not going to go well for the Predators for a very long time, because I don't think the Predators have any weapons that would actually harm the Hulk all that much, depending on what versions we're talking about. Like, if we're talking about the Ang Lee version, that version of Hulk literally grows and gets bigger the more damage that's done to it. It's not just emotional, it actually is physical damage. They say at the beginning of the film that the whole goal of what they were trying to do is have people heal from particular types of damage, but then when it's given to Bruce Banner, his anger and his emotional damage actually manifests as being able to work it that way too. So that version of Hulk actually gets bigger and stronger during physical damage as well as emotional damage with the anger and all the shit that he's got going on in his head. So every time they shoot him with a plasma caster or try and catch him with a net or try any of their weapons on this ship to try and hurt him, he's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger and stronger, which is going to be a very serious problem. There's really nothing that they're going to be able to use to take him down permanently. Actually, at some point, I think it's going to be a problem for the ship, because he's going to get so big that he's eventually not even going to fit in the fucking hallways, and his just growth is going to start destroying the ship from the inside. It's going to be super, super brutal. I really don't see a good way of them either killing him or catching him, and that kind of goes the same way for Edward Norton's Hulk. He doesn't grow in the same way, so it wouldn't be the same issue of him destroying the ship as it gets bigger. And I don't think that version of Hulk is ever shown getting stronger from damage, mostly just getting angry like you would expect Hulk to get. But I still think that we clearly see him being so strong that really not a whole lot can stop him. I mean, the United States government only actually catches him once he willingly gives himself up. And something that's the same for both versions of the character is the only person that can really calm the Hulk down and make him normal is Betty Ross. And unless the Predators decide to take Betty Ross, which they don't have any reason to, you're not really going to be able to do anything to him. The one reason I have Hulk so low on the list where he's only number 2 is because they can always eject him from the spaceship. The Predator ships do have the ability to eject entire rooms and just have them fly out in space, and they can do that at pretty much any time, and there's no reason why something like that would not work on the Hulk. And especially if we're talking about the movie versions, there's really no evidence that he would be able to survive being in space. In fact, Ang Lee's Hulk straight up can't. We see that he's not capable of surviving in space. Edward Norton's Hulk, we never really find out if he's capable or not. It's questionable that he might possibly be able to, but we never actually have straight up proof of it. Even if you want to like say that Hulk's the same version as the Mark Ruffalo Hulk, even the Mark Ruffalo Hulk version, we're not really confirmed whether or not he can survive in space. So we can't really say. I will say this, if he somehow does survive in space, the Predators are not going to just allow him to float out in space. He is way too fun of a hunt for them to do that. They're probably going to take him, and again, still take him to the Predator Mothership, just like not have him be in the ship. Like shoot out some cables and grab him. You know, somehow we're gonna get this fucking big ass dude to the Predator hunting world, and we're gonna throw him down there, and then basically all the same shit that I already mentioned in the intro is gonna happen, where they're gonna have all these different clans showing up, try and hunt this big new thing that nobody can hunt. But yeah, do I think that the Hulk can destroy the entire ship? He's capable. Is he actually going to be able to do it before they just eject his ass into space? As questionable, we're not really sure. But I will say for this one, it's kind of like a 50-50 whether or not Hulk destroys the ship or they somehow figure out how to get him off the ship. There's no doubt in my mind that one of those two things will be happening. Next up, we have Adolf Nat 20 Hitler from the Warld War series. All right, so let's set the scene, right? You got a bunch of Predators. They're all hanging around their little Predator mothership, all talking, chilling, you know, around like a water cooler chat. And then all of a sudden, another Predator comes busting in, like, guys, you're not gonna fucking believe this. They're like, oh, what? Great, we're just talking about how fucking awesome Monday is. And he's like, okay, remember that place Earth where we had to fight Arnold Schwarzenegger and the boss gave a pistol to Danny Glover? And they're like, oh yeah, dude, I love that place, it's great. And he's like, well, you aren't gonna believe this. There's a dude down there that decided to go to war with the whole world, like the whole planet at the same time. And the other Predator's like, oh, that's hilarious, what a dumbass. And he's like, no, you don't get it. He actually did really fucking good. Like, he came super close to winning. And they're just like flabbergasted. They're like, seriously? dude, we gotta go get this. We gotta go hunt this guy. Let's go get him. So they take their mothership and they fly on over to Earth, down to Argentina, pick up Hitler, throw him in the back, leave. All right, we're gonna take him to a planet, we're gonna toss him down there, and then we're just gonna hunt this dude who can go to war with an entire planet. This is gonna be awesome. So while they're on the way to that planet, Hitler is just like sitting in this cell somewhere with a little force field gate and all this kind of stuff. And you know, he's gotta be guarded because this dude went to war with the whole world. The Predators are like super impressed by this. So he's got these guards outside his little cell, and then Hitler just starts talking to him, you know, all like, I don't hind, you know, all that kind of like weird German shit, right? And as he's talking, the Predator just can't help but be like, wow, this dude has a beautiful voice. This is the voice of an angel. I can't help. I'm so drawn into his words. I gotta listen to it. And then as he's listening, he's just like, what's happening to me? I'm starting to feel a certain way in the pit of my soul and down in my stomach and crotch area. It just feels like anti-Semitism. And then a couple of days go by and he eventually shows up with like dyeing his dreadlocks blonde and wearing some blue contacts, and just starts saying some wild shit to his coworkers. And as he's saying this shit to his coworkers, they gotta go see what the fuck this dude's all talking about. So they show up and they start feeling all kind of weird in their stomach and groin area as well, and it just starts to spread like mad. And then all of a sudden you got a bunch of fucking Nazi predators on the ship. And you might be thinking, whoa, hold up, Rouga. What are you doing? You're giving Hitler like some kind of weird charisma powers. He's like, what? He can't do any of that. What are you talking about? And I would just say, look at this man real quick. Just look at him for a bit, right? What do people like about this man? How is this man able to turn an entire country of people into doing all the fucked up shit they did? It's not his mustache, because that's hideous. It's not his hair. This is an ugly fucking dude. What was it? It had to be that this dude had like a fucking 40 in his charisma stat. This man had to be rolling consistent nat 20s for like 13 years. This is it. This is what top tier charm looks like in Germany. Sure. You know, that they're not a particularly charismatic or humorous people. This is what it looks like when you don't have a sense of humor or charm in any way. This is what you get. But look, don't be so hard on them about this shit, okay? They can't really help it. You know, it's not their fault, because, you know, they killed all the funny people. And look, Germans, I get it. It's not fair for me to make fun of you for things that a bunch of Germans did a long time ago that you weren't even alive for and had nothing to do with. I understand that. However, I do think that it's about time that you learn to listen from your good friends the Jews, a lesson that they have been taught since the beginning of their existence, which is basically that life's not fair. So Hitler's just gonna be in this cage, spreading this infection across the entirety of the Predator Mothership. It will then create like a secondary faction within it of like Aryan Nazi predators, and then they're gonna like take a small section of the other predators, like a 10% or something of those predators, and they're just gonna start killing them all off just because, I don't know, doesn't matter. All the funny people, probably. And then they're just gonna start spreading from mothership to mothership to mothership, just spreading their Nazi-ness across the stars. But don't get too freaked out. There's a reason why Hitler isn't last on this list, because as we all know, Hitler has a very, very serious weakness. He's not big on the cold. Can't deal with it. Can't do it. Not only that, but anyone he affects with his Nazism also gets -2 to all rolls when in cold environments. And considering space is pretty fucking cold, I don't really see Hitler getting all that far. So yeah, I think all of his forces are gonna die, and he's gonna have to you know kill himself again after he fights, I guess, whatever the equivalent of space Russians are. Yeah, that sounds about right. Last up, but certainly not least, we have Imohtep from the Mummy series. Am I making a massive leap in logic by saying that pretty much everybody likes Imohtep? Like, am I alone in that? Like, everyone enjoys Imohtep, right? I mean, he's just so understandable. He's just a dude who fell in love, and then him and his lover were tragically killed, and he wants his bitch back. What is the issue? If it wasn't for the whole him having to sacrifice a human being to bring her back, which is not his fault, he didn't make the rules, I don't think anybody really have that much of a problem with the shit that he does here. Like, he wants his boo back. What's the problem, man? He fights through 2 whole movies trying to get her back, and you're just like, man, I kind of hope you do, sort of, at some point. I mean, I don't want you to sacrifice anybody to do it, but, and even in the second movie, like, the woman who is like the reincarnation of her is totally willing to give up her body to do it. So I'm like, okay, cool, go for it. Like, I don't even see, like, why you even want to stop him? Just let him fucking do it. It's fine. I mean, there is that whole thing about wanting to kill the Scorpion King and use his army to take over the world, but that's gonna happen. That's nothing. And then at the end of the second Mummy movie, he's sitting there, he's about to be dragged to hell. Brendan Fraser's about to be dragged to hell. He's like, baby, come on, come get me. I'll like, come save me. We can go together. We're gonna do that. We can still do this. This fucking trifling bitch just leaves him there. All the shit that he tried to do for her, she just fucking leaves. And then she gets eaten alive by a bunch of fucking bugs. Good for her, fuck her. And after she abandons him, and he looks over at Brendan Fraser and Evelyn, and he sees what actual love looks like. He's like, he realizes, my love for her was not the same as her love for me. I felt that, but she never felt that. I was willing to do anything for this bitch. And then he's like, what reason do I even have to be here? All of this was for her. And then he just lets go and lets himself die. And honestly, I think that even if you brought him back to life at this point, he wouldn't really want to take over the world. He'd just be like this heartbroken dude. I think that if Imohtep came back for a third time and he met Brendan Fraser certainly wouldn't be like cool with him, you know? But I actually think if they like took the time to sit down and have a conversation, I think that they would actually really respect one another. I really do. I think Imohtep is a pretty okay dude. Considering that, he's gonna fuck up the whole Predator Mothership. I mean, there ain't no doubt about that. You can't catch this dude. You can't. He cannot be killed by any mortal weapon. That is specifically said in the series. Predator weapons, as advanced as they are still mortal weapons. You can't hurt him. The dude can turn into sand. Like, how are you gonna kill someone who turns into sand? Anytime you hit him with anything, guess what? He can turn into fucking sand. You wanna eject him into space like you did the Hulk? Fine, eject him into space. The man can teleport. The man can fly. The man doesn't have lungs to suffocate in space. Yeah, you know those jars they have to collect in the first and second movie? And then when, you know, the people who collected the jars end up having to be sacrificed to give Imohtep his body back? Yeah, those jars have all of his organs stored in them. So obviously they're not inside of his body. So he doesn't actually need them to survive, which, by the way, makes him going around killing them way more understandable. When you watch the movie, it seems kind of sad that all these guys are dying. They were just there for like treasure hunting and like cool dudes, and they just found these things. Oh, these are kind of valuable. We can go sell them. Go home to the missus, buy a nice little house with a white picket fence, start a family. Like, it seems kind of sweet until you realize that they stole this motherfucker's organs. If you come over here and you steal my organs, I'm fucking killing you. And I'm not going to feel the least bit bad about it, so I don't think Imohtep should. I mean, Imohtep at one point transforms into a sandstorm, then goes into a building, and the dude who's caught in the sandstorm has all of the liquid in his body just sucked the fuck out. What's stopping him from doing that to, I don't know, the entire Predator Mothership? I mean, obviously it's going to be better sealed because space. So like the doors probably won't be able to have sand go through them in the same way he was able to travel from room to room. So maybe they can like lock him off into specific rooms. Honestly, I don't think it matters either way. Like, even if they do seal him off into a room and he can't get out, because even if he turns through sand, the grains of sand can't squeeze through the doors and shit because it's all sealed. He has the power of the plagues of Egypt. And one of the plagues he has is that he covers everybody in boils, and somehow those boils have mind control effects, and he starts taking over everyone's mind, and he has like an army of people. Like, he can start spreading the plagues across the Predator Mothership and have all of the predators start losing their minds and joining him and start attacking and killing each other, even while he's being trapped in this room, transported somewhere where they can like better hunt him. This challenge is not fair. It is essentially locking an apocalyptic threat on a fucking ship. How are the Predators gonna deal with that? They've never dealt with an apocalyptic threat before. Don't give me the xenomorphs. They're not an apocalyptic threat, especially not just one of them. Ain't nothing like this. No, absolutely not. Imohtep is wrecking their shit. Also, totally forgot, Imohtep doesn't just have control over sand. He has control over all elements. We see him control a tidal wave of water as well, and he can make his face the water. Even if they do somehow seal him somewhere where he can't get out, he can literally control their supply of water on the ship. He can turn the water against them and kill them with their water. I know I've said this already, but how the fuck are they supposed to survive this? They need water. Every living being needs water. The dude from his cell can turn their water against them, and he doesn't have to be near the water to do it. When he controls the water to attack Brendan Fraser's little flying balloon thing, they are miles and miles and miles away from he is, and he's capable of seeing them through the water. Imohtep fucking wins. He wins. But that's gonna be all for me. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and join the membership. Remember, you join the membership, you get videos early. And always remember, y'all stay safe out there, you hear?